St. Anne's MP Brent Simonette declaring his interest in the town center mall, the proposed temporary site of the General Post Office, which for years has been plagued with one issue after another, leading to reduced work weeks and consequently millions of dollars in losses. Tabling documents, Mr. Simonette, a sitting cabinet minister, today disclosed to shareholders of the Blue Hill Road Shopping Center Limited.
For the record, they are myself, 81 shares, my wife, 1 share, Dion Dean, Laura Smith, and Randy Smith at 1 share. BHRSC Holdings Limited, 9,610 shares out of 10,000. Furniture Plus, Tops and Jeans, and 71% Holdings Limited.
Annual statements for BHRSC Holdings filed on November 21st shows 5,000 shares. According to Mr. Simonette, of that figure, he owns 2,496, his brother 2,500 shares, and there are 3 nominee shares. The St. Anne's MP added that having declared his interest, the House could do what it wants. House Speaker Halston Moultrie ruled that having declared the FNM member was exempted from vacating his seat in the lower chamber, quashing the opposition's bid for this to happen.
On our side is that we here, as members of the House of Assembly, do not deem it just to allow the member not to vacate his seat as a result of his disclosures this morning. I mean, he's saying no to the exemption for reasons that we will provide during the course of the debate on the resolution.
That out of the way, the Bamboo Town MP Renwood Wells proceeded with debate on a resolution allowing the government to lease space in the town center mall to house the General Post Office. The East Hill Street building has for years been plagued with one issue after the other, compromising the safety of staffers and the public. The result, reduced work weeks that led to millions of dollars in losses, which according to Mr. Wells, the minister responsible, has dropped from $5.5 million in 2012 to around $2 million last year.
These losses reflected in revenue from sale of stamps, receipt of post letters, payment of foreign mail delivery, rent of private mailboxes, receipts in cash for repayment, commission on postal money orders, miscellaneous postal revenue, and air terminal charges. The lack of timely mail delivery to businesses has had a similar effect on the private sector's bottom line.
Over the years, some 8 different locations have been considered as the new home for the General Post Office, among them the Independent Shopping Center. That proposal, however, was met with rejection. The Oldfields Food Service building on Gladstone Road was later considered ideal. However, there were structural defects and technical issues that the government says required a massive financial undertaking at the expense of taxpayers. Furthermore, it would take at least a year or 2 to complete. The government then seized the town center mall as a temporary location for the GPO until a permanent home is constructed via a public-private partnership. The lease agreement would be for 5 years at a cost of $12 per square foot. Of the nearly 70,000 square feet the government's looking to lease in the mall, 56,646 square feet will be on the ground floor and 13,229 square feet on the second floor.
We may ultimately need to rent an additional 5,000 square feet since we are looking to enter agreements with FedEx and DigiPrint. Both entities will require additional space, and as I stated earlier, we will be adding additional post office boxes.
Now, the principals of the town center mall have indicated that they would be ready to receive contractors at a moment's notice. An estimated $3.5 million has to be invested into making the facility adequate. The government was given a December 15 date to move the post office to the new location. However, it's pushed that deadline back by a week to just before the Christmas holidays.
Mall, which offers over 500 parking spaces for use by the public, is centrally located within New Providence, is a hub for numerous bus routes, and is bounded by major roadways offering multiple options of ingress and egress should be considered. The fact that Barclays Bank, Mr. Speaker, was once located in Town Center Mall, and Commonwealth Bank is currently housed there, augurs well for the relocation of the post office bank to that space. Mr. Speaker, Town Center Mall offers a wonderful solution to our dilemma.
Meantime, Education Minister Jeffrey Lloyd addressing long-standing issues with Bahamian medical students, particularly those enrolled at the University of the West Indies. Now, back in June, 49 med school students graduated from the university with a total of 40 postgraduate training opportunities offered in the Princess Margaret Hospital. However, this time around, 44 or more are expected to enter the industry seeking training opportunities in the healthcare system.
The system has stretched and bent and twisted to accommodate. It is at the absolute limit and possibly a little beyond. Simultaneously, we have, as a country, continued to offer scholarships to more and more prospective UWI medical students, but we have not strengthened the capacity for postgraduate medical attention, that necessary step. Without training opportunities in post-medical school, these physicians cannot practice.
Back in August, Director of UWI School of Clinical Medicine and Research in the Bahamas, Dr. Robin Roberts, sent a letter informing university officials that the Bahamas' limit for scholarships this year in medicine would be 25. Mr. Lloyd says UWI officials received the letter. However, the notice was not transmitted to students.
As of this moment, sir, here and now, all prospective UWI students or candidates seeking admission into the medical, dentistry, pharmacy, nursing, or veterinarian programs, once accepted, must first receive approval in writing from the Ministry of Health before the Ministry of Education will consider or approve tuition assistance for that candidate in either of those aforementioned fields.
Considering the notice was not transmitted to students, here's what the government is prepared to do.
The government will pay the subvention for all first-year Bahamian medical students now enrolled at the University of the West Indies. We will pay that official list that will be provided by the university.
Now, as it stands, the government's paying $9.4 million this year of the $17.8 spent on all scholarships, which totals 53%. This means that more than half of the money allocated for scholarships goes to the University of the West Indies. The Bahamas' relationship with UWI began in 1962 for the training of doctors, teachers, and lawyers. Over the years, it has included other disciplines like dentistry, pharmacy, nursing, and social work. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Alive.